beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the March 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Libra. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you any intuitive messages that I receive as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on. And also, if you've not done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. That helps me greatly, and also you'll be notified when I post videos in the future. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. In the first column, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close for you. In column number 2, we're just going to take a general look at March. Then we're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from your future self or spirit guide. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a healing crystal, and a healing note. Let's see what we have here. We're going to pull a summary card. We have the card renewal. So likely in the last few months, Libra, last few weeks, excuse me, or month, you'll be feeling some kind of renewal of energies. Let's see what we've got going on. The first card we have is the Devil card. This is oftentimes a card of greed, envy, materialism, obsession. I've been seeing a lot of times with this card recently, people are like hyper focused on something. So there's a chance that you've been really focusing your attention on something in specific these last few weeks. The next card that we have is Temperance. Temperance is a card of balance, harmony, patience, moderation. Hopefully you kind of have corrected yourself. It feels like maybe we were really caught up on something and now we've kind of returned to that balance where we're not hyper focused on one thing in specific. And then the next card we have is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, and it's a card of having to be patient. It could also be hard work. Possibly your workload has been heavier than usual these last few weeks or so, but also a card of patience, so possibly waiting for something to happen. But let's confirm Libra and see what messages we've got. The first clarifying card we have is the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is an interesting card. It's a card of low feelings. It's like loss, depression, grief. The interesting thing about the Three of Swords, though, oftentimes it's about like pulling the sword from your own heart, which appears that you've done that because we do have the Temperance card, but there was something that was really bothering you, or you were really focused on, or you were really envious of. And this is saying you've like kind of stopped that behavior between this card and the Temperance card. The next card we have is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a card of like gossip or truth. Maybe there's been a lot of gossip going around, and that was kind of what you were wrapped up in with that Devil card. But again, it seems to have subsided just given that Temperance card. And then at the bottom here, we have the Death card. The Death card doesn't mean death. It is a card of transformation, a big change. It's something coming to an end. It could just be this overthinking or this hyper focus on something that's coming to an end for you. But I feel like it feels bigger than that, Libra. Like this is a change that you've been waiting for a really long time. Again, that Knight of Pentacles being a waiting card. So it feels like we're entering into kind of a transition period for you. We're moving on to something new. But let's continue to read forward and let's take a look at now what's coming in general for March for you. We have the card Potential. This is a great card, and I think it has something to do with the planetary alignment right now because I've seen this card a ton when I've been doing these March readings. But you have lots and lots of potential. The month of March has a ton of potential for you, Libra. But let's see what messages we have. The first card we have is the Fool. Interestingly enough, we were just talking about the Death card, which is an ending of something, which then leads to new beginnings, and that's the focus of the Fool card. This is fresh hope. It's taking chances. This is like being on a new path in life or a new adventure. This is very fresh beginning. So there will be some sort of new start or shift in your life, major coming in for March for you. Again, new potential there. The next card we have is the High Priestess. This is a card of like trusting your intuition, making sure that you are staying in tune with yourself. This is really like trusting yourself, trusting your intuition. I'm getting the message that you have all the knowledge that you need, Libra, to go through the month. You just have to trust yourself that you're like capable almost, is the message that's there. Then at the bottom we have the Wheel of Fortune. For those of you that have watched my readings for a while, this is one of my favorite cards in the deck. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of good fortune, it's a card of good luck, but it's also a turning point with the wheel. So the wheel is turning, and again, you're starting a new chapter. You're definitely entering into a new phase in life. You just need to make sure that you trust yourself and you're trusting your intuition. Let's confirm though and see what other messages we have here. We have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is wishes coming true. It's material abundance. It's also a card of good health. This seems to be a more positive and healthy time in your life with this new beginning with the Fool. But this is like saying this is like what you've been wishing for. This new beginning, this new chapter, this new phase in life is what you've been hoping for. The next card we have is the Ten of Cups. It's pretty cool. You get both of my favorite cards in the same row. This is my favorite card in the entire deck. The Ten of Cups is the card of everything. You see a rainbow here. All the cups are full. There's a happy couple. There's kids playing. The grass is green. The water's running. And there's a house in the background. But this is like a card of family, contentment, total love and support. I always tell people this is like the card of everything. So this new thing that you're embarking on is going to lead to this true happiness, success. It's what you've wanted. It's that true contentment that maybe you haven't had before. And it's paired with the High Priestess. Again, you just need to trust yourself that you're moving in the right direction and kind of just let things play out. The next card that we have is the Tower card. The Tower card just indicates a change. Sometimes it indicates an unwanted change, but this feels to be something that you have been ready for. But this card is more so just saying that the change is coming, which is pretty clear between our Death card, the Fool, the Wheel of Fortune. It's very obvious that we're entering into a new period of time for you here. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. This could be your job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, really truly anything money related. Let's see what messages I can give you here. Just at a quick glance, it's looking really good for you this month. But the first card we have is the Chariot. The Chariot is also a card of action and change. It's about being on a journey. Somebody once described this to me as the vroom vroom card, and it just means that things are moving. You could be starting a new project, you could be switching jobs, you could be like graduating from college. There's something majorly in movement for you here. Maybe your business has really picked up or your work has really picked up. For some of you, you could be getting a new vehicle too. The Chariot is an indicator of a new car. And we do mention that in this column because, again, a car would be an investment, so that's how it's tied into money there. The next card that we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a very supportive card. It's a card of leadership too. Some of you could be in a leadership role already or be working towards a leadership role. Possibly that's the journey you're on there with the Chariot. But again, an indicator of leadership. It's also a card of being tolerant. So you want to like think to yourself, like as things come up, like only take on good energy and like close out bad energy. Think of kind of having a bubble around yourself and bad things bouncing off of you. Not saying that there will be bad things, but tolerant is a word that is sticking out there for you. Then at the bottom, we have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. So you could be having good success at work. You could be getting recognized at work. You could be getting an award of some type. Or there just could be some good news on the work front or money front for you this month. Let's clarify this though and see what other messages I can give you. We have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a card of celebration. We were just talking about celebrating with the Six of Wands there at the bottom. So there does seem to be something that you'll be celebrating this month related to work or finances or money. This is also a card of a circle of support. So for those of you that are like on the path to being a leader or on some sort of job related journey, this is coming through that you have a really good mentor as well. The next card that we have is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a very confident and self-assured card. We were talking about that you need to trust yourself and trust your intuition. This is kind of building on that with the Queen of Wands. This is about really being very confident and very self-assured, especially if you're in the leadership role. You need to be confident to lead your team, or if you're working towards a leadership role, you need to show that you're confident and capable. So make sure that you keep your head held high, present yourself very well through the month of March. The next card we have is the Nine of Swords. Interesting here, the Nine of Swords is a card of like anxiety, grief, depression, or quite literally nightmares. You see this person sitting up in bed. When it comes to this reward or recognition, you've almost been like worried about it. Maybe this award or recognition is coming in the form of like a pay raise, and maybe you think you're only going to get a small pay raise and it ends up being more. But this is a really positive reading. So for those of you that are concerned about money or your job in some fashion, I would say that you don't need to be. Several celebration cards. We definitely acknowledge that you're on a journey and you're possessing some really great traits and characteristics here. So try to keep the worry to a minimum if possible there. Now let's move into our next column, which is anything regarding love. So this could be your family, friends, relationships, children, anything we associate with love, and see what messages we have. The first card we have is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of is a card of desiring long-term security. So I feel like this is a message specifically for those of you that are not in a relationship. I feel like some of you are really feeling like you want to be in a relationship. Others of you that are single, I think some of you are actually feeling really happy too. I'm getting a feeling that some of you are not seeking long-term security with another person. That may be kind of an odd message, but that's the message I'm getting. And those of you that are in a relationship, I feel like you're wanting the next step, whether that's marriage or vow renewal. You could be craving more, whether you're single or in a relationship there. The next card we have is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a very resourceful card. Again, this is talking about strength of you and yourself. So it doesn't really matter your relationship status, where you're single and want to be with somebody, or you're single and happy being single, or if you're in a relationship. This is like indicating that you are taking care of yourself, which is a great thing. Not needing somebody is always in a good position to be, whether you have somebody or not. Being resourceful and being able to take care of yourself is very important. This card is also a card of fertility. So some of you could be finding out that you're pregnant, or you could already be pregnant, but this card definitely indicates babies for some. And then at the bottom here, we have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a card of low feelings. You see this person's laying down here with swords stuck in them. So some of you could be feeling low emotions, and I'm not quite sure what. We'll take a look at that and see what we can clarify with that message. The first clarifying card we have is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card of like apathy or feeling unfulfilled. And like I said, whether you're single or in a relationship, there seems to be a desire for more, whether that's more from yourself or more from your partner, or to find a partner. And this is just acknowledging that. You see this kind of blank face. That indicates that there's a want for more love, whether it's self-love or love from somebody else. And the next card that we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of challenges, obstacles. Interestingly enough, I do think that this is kind of tied to the Ten of Swords at the bottom. So some of you could be like having a few like bumps in the road with your partner. This, again, when we see this card, they're small bumps in the road, I say, because these people aren't fighting with swords, they're fighting with wands. So it's like almost learning how to fight. It's small things. For some of you, you could still be learning how to be resourceful, learning how to be on your own, or learning how to be in a relationship. So just keep that in mind. There could be some small bumps in the road. Make sure that you don't let them bother you to the point of like the Ten of Swords type feeling, because everything's going to be fine. You're in that kind of learning and growing stage. The next card we have is the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is very solid, very practical. And it's interesting in spirit on this because I was just saying like don't get too far in your head. But this is saying the same thing too. As these low feelings come up, make sure you have like a solid and practical approach. Are you overthinking something? Are you overreacting to something? Are you feeling emotions that maybe, or like sometimes I'm guilty of this specifically, like I'll make up scenarios in my head that don't even exist. So it's making sure that like we're keeping kind of like a good head on our shoulder as we think through these Five of Wands moments and as we think through our feelings related to love for the month of March. Now let's move into our last column, which is going to be a message from your future self or spirit guides. So some advice, something to carry into the month of March with you. We have the card Influence. This is a reminder that you have a lot of influence on the people around you, Libra. People look to you for guidance. People value what you say. Like I said, this really echoes the influence that you have. But let's see what kind of messages I have for you. The first card we have is the Moon card. The Moon card is a card, again, of trusting your intuition. I think I've said that to you 3 times now for the month of March. But make sure that you're really trusting your intuition. This is also a card of change. Definitely we're going into a change, new beginnings, you're starting a new chapter. So this is just indicating change again. And with the sun and the moon like that, that face there is always a reminder to be trusting your intuition. The next card we have is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is oftentimes having lots of choices. This is just a reminder, I feel like, that there are lots of things going on. It seems like you're kind of juggling a lot of different things in what's wrapping up as well as going into the month of March. Again, you have an influence on everything that's happening, and you definitely have the ability to influence by trusting your intuition. Then at the bottom here we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is an interesting card. This is a card about like healing and moving on. But then if you look at this cup, it's not really a cup at all. It's more of like a trophy. And I'm getting the feeling that like you're being handed a trophy at March. And maybe that's this new chapter that we're going into. It's part of this transition. It's part of your influence. But like you're being given a trophy, Libra. You are the trophy. But let's see what other messages we can clarify here. The first card we have is the Star card. The Star card is a card of renewal, hope, inner clarity. You could be acknowledged again. We did talk about some recognition earlier from work, but with the stars being like kind of in the spotlight there. But definitely make sure you're trusting your intuition. This is about having inner clarity, and trusting your intuition and inner clarity go hand in hand. Again, remember your ability to influence. The next card we have is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card of tradition. It's very conventional. It's a card of conformity. It's also a card of expectations, though. And I think this new chapter is going to exceed your expectations. This is going to be more than you thought it was. Again, we have lots going on with the Seven of Cups, and this is going to exceed anything that you expected. Then at the bottom here, we have the Devil card. We had the Devil card earlier, so we have it in the 2 corners of our reading here. Just a reminder to not be hyper-focused on things, really be trusting your intuition. Don't obsess over anything or be too envious of anything. Again, you are the trophy, so why would you be envious of somebody else when you yourself are the trophy? All right, at this time I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch Fortune Telling deck. If you don't have questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the 3 of diamonds. This is the number 48 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2, we have the 3 of clubs. This is the number 5 card. That's going to be a yes. And question number 3, we have the 8 of diamonds. This is the number 44 card. That's going to be a no. So we have yes, yes, no, Libra. Let's take a look at your crystal of the month. We're going to pull from our healing stone stack. Keep this crystal in your pocket, on your desk at work, on your nightstand. Your crystal for the month is calcite. This gives you courage and helps with growth. It also helps you feel like less lethargic. It gives you drive, it gives you motivation, and it helps with new ideas. Then last but not least, we're going to do a note from our healing notes deck of cards. In your own time, in your own way, you will heal. Thank you so much, Libra, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, when you subscribe to my channel, that helps me very greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new videos in the future. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you again, Libra, and I hope that you have a fabulous March.